This thing has me trapped in my car like Cujo. Get out of here. Go on, get. No, don't yell at me. Get.
I don't want to talk to anyone for longer than 10 minutes.
Okay.
At all.
Let's talk for 8 then.
Welcome to Floridiots.
Hi.
I'm Lee.
I'm Jay Potts.
We do Florida Man stories each and every week, and you can catch us on all the social plats, the Floridiots podcast. And, of course, like, rate, subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that good stuff. We were just talking about, so we record from inside a secret location, which is inside my work, which is a bong shop. And
deep within the crust of the earth.
We're like Art Bell. We just had a guy come in, and like this kid comes in and he talked to us for like a half an hour. And Jay,
very nice kid.
He's a sweet kid, but Jay dives right in, you know, like it was like 20 minutes of a conversation about a Toyota Celica. Jay's like, you don't be mean. He's just like a kid and he's sweet and he means well. I totally understand all that, which means you get 5 minutes. I don't care if it's my best friend. I was just on the phone with my best friend,
He was.
Arnie, in Los Angeles.
Hi, Arnie.
He got 4 minutes, and we said everything we needed to say. I don't need, contrary to popular belief,
Horseman, baby.
I talk a lot, obviously, right? I don't need to in one-on-one conversations.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah,
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You like diving in, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Sure.
No, thank you. I'm in and out.
I have to know.
Let's get done what we got to get done here and then move on.
I'm nosy.
When I was about 4 years old, my parents took me to a wedding.
4 years old.
My parents took me to a wedding when I was about 4, and they said that I would go up to people. I had a little glass of ginger ale, like a cocktail, and I would go up to people and say my hellos, and then I would go, all right, I got to go circulate. And then I would make my way. I don't know who taught me that word, but circulating.
Gotta go talk some business,
That's
baby.
right.
Ding.
I'd rather more people, less conversation.
Okay, gotcha.
Than more conversation, less people.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, so I have maybe the best Florida man story we've ever had, Jay.
Okay.
But first, we're going to do a Florida woman story.
Okay.
So here we go. Live, hot off the presses. This is brand new Florida woman story. Florida woman hacks airplane flight system, deletes aircraft profiles, clears plane with maintenance issues to fly, gets arrested. Oh my God. And if you see her picture, I don't have it. We couldn't have, but here, I'm just going to
Oh, MacGyver.
You wouldn't think that if you saw her picture, you'd be like, it's like a Faces of Meth situation, right? Like you wouldn't think that she's hacking into planes, but she did. Brevard County woman, remember that county, by the way.
Her ears are kind of low.
Remember this county, because it's going to come up again.
Yeah.
Brevard County woman facing a string of charges after she allegedly hacked into a computer system at Melbourne flight training. Authorities first knew something was wrong January 12th, 2021, when CEO Derek Fallon, no relation to Jimmy Fallon, logged into the flight training computer and noticed multiple things were off. Make, model, tail numbers had been deleted. Flight maintenance had been cleared. So she was clearing the maintenance books, and then they wouldn't know whether they had maintained the flight. There was gaps in it. So there's planes flying around that didn't have the proper maintenance. I'm trying to find, they don't have a motive at this point.
Floridiot.
So apparently, she was one of the few people in the area who had the knowledge, skills, and ability to alter flight records.
Get on planes that much.
Yeah. Investigators determined that the IP address used to log into the computer belonged to Lauren Lyde's father. Lyde's father stated he didn't have a clue why his computer had been used to access the MFT computer.
She used her dad's computer.
When the father was asked, he was quoted as saying, "I'm kind of concerned about my daughter at this point." Yeah, she's a rascal. She's a real rascal, isn't she?
She's that one there.
Parents, man, they will love you no matter what. Most parents.
I mean, it's like, it's like
kind of concerned about my daughter. Yeah, she's causing planes to fall out of the sky. You think you might be a little worried?
Just like the Fresh Prince song.
I'm worried about the people in those planes.
Will never understand.
And also from Brevard County,
and
the best 2 in 1 day.
What?
Florida man, follow me here.
Brevard.
Florida man wielding sword sets fire in roadway, floods booking office after the arrest. And there's his picture here. Authorities say when they arrived, they found 4-foot-high flames in the Brevard County roadway. According to police, the fire was in front of the man's home, who they visited around 5 times in the last 6 months for illegal burns. Officials say they went to speak with suspect
really
Scott
went for the
Taylor.
one.
He was sitting in his front yard holding a sword in his hand and had a knife in his waistband. Police say he was actively drinking in front of them.
Was he like, Hark, who goes there?
I'm going to give you a couple of guesses as to what he was drinking.
Truly's.
No. It was in a half-gallon jug.
Moonshine.
No, it was Captain Morgan's.
Ooh, with the sword. He got the knee up.
He did. He went
And
full
the knee
captain.
up in the yard
Yeah.
against the cops. He's like, "You're coming.
When he
Attack
got,
my ship."
police say while
What?
the man was in a holding cell, he intentionally broke the fire sprinkler head, causing the water to flood the cell and the booking room.
Did he sneak
He
a
is
sword in there?
Currently in the Brevard. Yeah, he suitcased the sword.
Yeah, boy.
Yep. Put it in that Gucci wallet.
Ooh.
I knew a kid that was actually in Brevard County when they had JIT camp in Florida.
Right.
They have youth offenders and they send them to prison, but they send them to like a much worse prison so it's like 19, 20, 21-year-olds. And then the guards bet on them for fighting. They call it gladiator camp.
Oh, wow.
It's awful down there. So Brevard, one of the worst prisons in the United States.
So mad shout out to Brevard.
You turn that light off. So he's in this JIT camp, and
Right.
it's his first time going to prison.
And is this camp in Brevard County as well,
Yes,
right? Okay,
right.
so they have a
So-
regular jail, and then they have one for younger.
They have,
People.
they have 200 prisons in Florida, and
Oh,
10
wow.
of them are for JIT camps.
Okay, got you.
So if you break the law or whatever,
Yeah.
they send you to here, and it's the worst place in the world. And this kid my friend, took cops on a high-speed chase. He had a
the
bunch of
good
weed in the
old
car,
boys.
didn't feel like pulling over. Long story short, he gets prison time, and they have to send him to a JIT camp because he's 19 years old. So he gets in there, and they throw him in a 2-man cell with this wild man. And it's his first time in prison, and the kid looks up at him, and he goes, we can get out of here, right? And my buddy's going, okay, what are you talking about? He's just kind of passively going along with this, right? He goes, yeah, if we get 30 disciplinary reports, they'll kick us out of here and they'll send us to an adult prison. So we got to buck. That's what he tells them. We got to buck this thing right now.
Right.
So my buddy's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll whatever.
Yeah.
So he's banging on the door. They've got a mattress up in front of the door.
Which
They're
is a no-no.
flooding the cell. So it's
Yeah.
flooding at this point. And like 10 cops come over and they come to the door, and you got to stick your hands out the door and cuff up, right? They go cuff up, and the guy in the cell goes, "Fuck that shit, run it!" And
Run it. That's
he-
never a good sign
he
when someone
looks at-
says run it.
he looks at my buddy Shane. He looks at him. The cop does, and goes, "I know you're scared." And Shane goes,
Yeah.
like
I
that.
am scared.
Terrified, right?
That's right.
So the cops walk away, and about a half an hour later, they come with the lieutenant warden.
Oh, wow.
What's happening right now?
I got something in my eye.
Jesus,
I
man.
know. Sorry, digging in it.
God.
Felt like a big piece of wood.
Live television, ladies and
Sorry
gentlemen.
about that.
So they come with the warden. She happens to be a woman. It's the lieutenant warden. She comes down and she goes, "Now, Shane, I know you don't want to be in there, okay? So just cuff up and I'll get you out of there." And he's going, "No, I'm not doing anything y'all say."
Yeah.
Right? So finally, they get the kid to cuff up, and then they take him out, and they get Shane to cuff up, and they take him out, and they walk him down the hall, and he's looking at the cops next to him. He's like, "Wow, that was crazy, right?"
Yeah.
And they walk him around the corner, and there's 10 cops standing there with the canister
Oh, no.
of pepper spray, and just hose him down.
Wow.
So he ended up doing the rest of his time in solitary confinement.
I mean, I guess that you. Wow.
6 months in prison.
Wow,
So
that's a lot of push-ups.
Brevard is one of the worst places in
Sounds
the world.
nuts.
Yeah.
Sounds like what Okeechobee was back in the 70s and 80s for the young kids. Like
Yeah,
super
right?
crazy and like lots of like like physical attacks. Like it was like very. I knew some people that went to the Okeechobee place, and they said it was.
Oh, they light each other on fire in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
like you got to sleep with one eye open.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare.
There's like 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that were just acting like crazy grown men.
Yeah. Buddy of mine, same guy. He's supposed to be going to adult camp, and they send him to one more JIT camp, and he's like, God, I can't get out of this. Well, he happens to go into the dorm, and the whole thing is locked down. He's like, thank God. They've got them all locked down because they had been setting each other on fire. So they're all locked in these two-man cells. He said in the middle of the night, they had trained a squirrel, and they would tie a little string around its neck, and it would run between the dorms to bring cigarettes or snacks. They would just tie whatever to the squirrel's neck, and then...
Okay.
What happens when you got too much time on your hands?
Man, I guess so. I mean, I'd want a crow to do it, but I guess they're too loud.
This is...
At like 2 o'clock in the morning, they're like, all right, just trading cigarettes.
You can't get the crow to do it. No opposable thumbs.
Mm.
All right, so that's Florida Man story this week for you. Lesson learned here. Yeah. Florida
Watch
Man.
it when you go through Brevard County, anybody.
Absolutely. And next time, buddy, when you're burning stuff down, you got to set the sword on fire, too. Flaming sword.
Flaming sword.
We're rooting for you,
yeah,
Florida Man.
Come on.
We want you to get over that hump.
Conan jump.
Right.
Oh.
There you go.
Mm.
Hit us up on all the social media
muscly
plats.
Guy.
Florida. Oh, have you seen the new He-Man on Netflix?
Yeah.
The making of He-Man thing? Oh, it's really cool.
I'm very interested.
Yeah.
I mean, the last one with Dolph Lundgren wasn't quite the hit, but
were you a He-Man kid as a kid?
Almost Steph.
Because you're a little bit older than me, and I know that He-Man was kind of on the edge of whether I like. It was a little bit younger.
He-Man, Thundercats.
I did like Thundercats.
Snarf. Voltron. Voltron, like both versions, the space version and the Earthbound version.
The space version was awesome.
Yeah, a lot of the Japanese anime of that time period. You know, like we also watched a lot of Ultraman, which I loved.
I liked Ultraman a lot.
Ultraman, and like,
I was honestly
huge series Ultraman. There's not just one. There's a many.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
I was a Justice League guy.
Yeah.
I just loved.
Totally.
I love the voiceovers in Justice League.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
back at the league.
Hit us up on all the social media platforms you possibly can. Facebook, Instagram.
Like.
Jason's got us on stuff called Woof. I mean, he's just making up words, and he's got us on there. So
because we're wolves, bro.
All Florida Man stories all the time.
Florida wolves.
It's Floridiots podcast. Peace.